Patricia.
My name is Nancy Patricia Patsy Gasiorowski, but everybody called me Pat. It's through all my schooling up to the 8th grade. I was Patricia, and then I went to high school and I was Patricia. But when I went to nursing school, I still was Patricia, but I found out my name was Nancy when I went to apply for Social Security card, and I got a birth certificate, and it says Nancy. So I had to register on Social Security as Nancy, and then I started using the name Nancy when I was going through schooling, through nursing school. I worked in a Polish bakery on the corner of McDougal and Frederick.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah. I like country music. I like blues. Yeah, I like Polish music. And I like classical music. So I don't have any one specific person.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I was a nurse.
Did you always want to be a nurse?
Yep. When we were in high school, back in the 50s, you didn't think about what you were going to be. You just went and were. So my two girlfriends and me, Joanna, Rosie, and me, went to Providence Hospital nursing school. And when I dropped out, I got married. I stayed in nursing, even though I didn't graduate from Providence. I stayed in nursing, became a practical nurse, and stayed in that kind of nursing. And then I went into animal nursing for a long time. Oh, I guess it was 1953 when we won championship in basketball. And I was a star. I was high scorer. And we won championship.
What was your favorite year in school and why?
In high school, when I was we were juniors and seniors, when we were winning the championship and playing ball and going to Belle Isle and stuff. Oh yeah, and then we'd ride along singing old songs. I don't know what they call it now. Not soprano, not the highest. Yeah, I was in between one. Oh, I guess it was 1953 when we won championship in basketball. I was high scorer. Yeah.
What position?
Forward. Well, we only had guards and forwards back then.
Oh.
And we only played half court. And that wore us out.
What were your hobbies growing up?
When I was in grade school, I used to dance, belong to PNA, and we danced. We'd do Polish dancing for reading, I would say, because we used to have a library on the boulevard and the expressway. It's torn down now, but it was a beautiful big library. And I would get books, and anytime at the cottage I would read pocket books, and I would say that was my biggest hobby. In high school, we used to have pageants, and we had a trio, and I would sing with them. We'd sing modern songs. I don't even remember what they were. And I used to sing Polish songs for my Dompolski when I belonged there.
You taught dance, didn't you?
Yeah, I taught dance for a while at PNA at Dompolski.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened. Well, I had to go back to school. No, we used to throw in a Mexican hat dance, and that was about the other ethnic dance we did.
Okay.
That was just a couple of years of ballet,
Okay.
toe dancing, and soft shoe dancing. We'd perform for groups that had functions like in dinners, and we'd dance for them.
What is the fondest memory you have of your mom?
Tilly, Patriarch, Patricia, however you want to say it.
Tilly? I thought it was
Tekla.
Tekla.
My mother would make leniwe pierogi. She always made cheese. Somebody would have to go on Shane, usually me or my dad, my tata, go on Shane Street to the butcher shop, and they would have the special farmer's cheese that she would use. Yeah, it was bitter. But she would, I don't know how she made it. It didn't taste bitter in that pierogi. Instead of rolling it out and everything, you'd drop a big ball or medium-sized ball of dough into the boiling water without any filling or anything. And they'd just be a ball of dough. And they were lazy pierogi. Yeah.
What is the fondest memory you have of your dad?
Being down in the beer garden on the Dompolski Hall on Forest and Shane. I'd have to wait for him sometimes. He was in a meeting, and I'd wait and have a glass of cola or something.
What kind of meeting would he be in?
Polish club meeting. We belong to Polish National Alliance. Not like you guys belong to PRCU.
Mm-hmm.
We belong to PNA. And we'd always walk back home down Forest because we didn't drive. I mean, my dad, I don't know why we didn't take a car, because my father drove. But we would walk home down Forest and then down McDougall to Ferry Street. Mother and father both came from Poland in the early 1900s.
Wow.
So I'm first generation.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be a boy, I think, because there were the three girls, Eleanor, Genevieve, and Lillian. My brother Jerome was the first child, was a boy. I was born in the bed. We didn't, on Ferry Street, because they didn't go to the hospital, I guess, to have babies.
So Uncle Jerome was the oldest, you said? And then who was second?
Eleanor. I think Lil was for the next. Lillian. You can see on that picture. And Genevieve, my sister Jean, was fourth, and then I don't know where my mother got. Is this recording?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know where she got the name Nancy.
Do you have a favorite sibling?
No, I don't.
Good. Me either. Any fond memories with your siblings?
I was the youngest, and there was more than 10 years difference between Genevieve and me. My sister Eleanor was like my mother. So I would have to say my fondest memories. Oh, I was heartbroken when they moved to that cottage. When I was already working, and I would get vacation time, and we would go on vacation with the camper,
What did you love doing as a child?
trick-or-treating at Halloween. I don't remember even having a costume to put on, but we'd go trick-or-treating. Ice skating across the street from my house on Ferry. There was a park, and they'd build up these mounds of dirt and flood it with water, and that was the skating rink. We'd go, maybe 7th, 8th grade, but 7th and 8th grade, you were grown up.
You were telling me how you and Grandpa met.
In 12th grade, in high school,
Okay.
when we went to see these games. And from then I don't remember where we met. He asked me out. I remember going on the bus to Duluth Arena to watch a basketball game.
What moment sticks out to you about our family?
The friendship, the camaraderie of all you guys sticking together. No fights. Your father used to fight a lot when Nick and David were small and Jess. But now you're all together.
How many cats have you had for pets?
The most I've had was 5 at one time.
Who was your favorite cat?
Boots. I can still picture David swinging him around in the kitchen. And that cat was the most gentlest cat. But Boots was my favorite one. And I like that orange color in a cat.
What was your favorite place to live in your life?
My home on Ferry, Farnsworth. We lived in Roseville, Center Line. That's it.
Okay. Did you move for jobs? Or just
We
because?
moved so we wouldn't have to pay the rent. But
What did you do?
Busha, my mother bought this house for me so I would move out of her house with teenage children. I always thought I would live in that house forever. 7 years difference between my sister Eleanor's Sandy and me. So we were like sisters. She was like my mother. She came downtown with me. Or she took me for shoes. She came with me to the lawyer's office for my divorce. Uncle Archie Koszynski was a lawyer, and he took care of that for me.
All right. What makes you proud of Detroit?
I just like living by the river, and it's close to the river, and I like the history of Detroit. And I have some fond memories of downtown Detroit from when I worked downtown in the Hudson's building. I can still remember going on lunch break I didn't work at Hudson's. I worked at a little clothing store across Woodward, on the other side of Woodward, and I would go on lunch break to Woolworths.
Mm.
You know what a Woolworths is?
It sounds really familiar.
Down a dime store.
Oh,
Nope. But they had a lunch counter, a long lunch counter, and I'd get a grilled cheese sandwich. And I loved them. But couldn't do it all the time. I didn't have that much money.
How about this? You've lived through some memorable historic moments. What stands out the most and why?
When my girlfriend Joanne and I went to meet the president-elect, the one, John F. Kennedy, was coming to visit Detroit. No, I didn't meet him personally, but I waved. I was part of the crowd waving. We were at the airport.
Do you have memories of the war?
Just of Uncle Kenneth coming home. My dad taking me with food stamps, not food stamps, ration stamps to buy shoes to the store on Shade Street. Because I needed, I think for communion or something, I was a little take. The stars on the flags that we used to put in the window if you had somebody in the service. And Uncle Kenneth was in the service. So we would have that. We ate good. My father always worked in the auto factories. I remember we married my sister Jean. She must have been the last one to get married. I remember my sister Genevieve and I slept in the same bed. That's all I remember, is her laying there, me laying here.
What are your memories from the riot?
No, I don't remember it at all. I just get bits and pieces. Your father remembers it because he lives here.
Yeah.
But we lived in the suburbs.
Segregation and all of that?
Yeah, we had segregation. All my friends moved.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Kenneth and Eleanor moved. But, excuse me, my girlfriends lived on Kirby and Mitchell. My two best friends sold that house. Now there's nothing, no houses on Kirby at all. This used to be a Polish neighborhood. They all moved to Warren. That's why we call this, I guess I call this Pole Town up there.
You were always adamant about going to church every week, and eventually that we went with you. Why was that?
What do you mean? Because we're supposed to go to church. We were brought up and taught that you had to go to church on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Or Saturdays now. So the thing is, I can't get dressed for church.
Where are you now with your religion?
I say my prayers at night to go to sleep. I still believe in God, in Christ, Jesus Christ, and Mother Mary, and all the saints. I still believe in all that stuff.
What is your best jackpot at the casino?
I think I was at Greektown long time ago when I was still working, and I won a sweatshirt. So I must have won, I must have won like $1,000 or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. that was the end of that. Paid some bills.
What about any other vacations that you've been on?
We were to Laughlin, Nevada, one time. We didn't even get into Vegas on that trip. We just stayed in Laughlin. And it was real pretty there.
What jobs did you hold?
Always in the medical profession. Started in people, went to dogs or cats. We didn't have exotic animals. And then went back to people.
What was your favorite?
Well, they were all the same. So
Animals?
a job is a job.
What about animals?
In those animals, I got scars from where somebody bit me.
Oh, wasn't me.
No, it was a dog. It was a little chihuahua, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're mean little dogs.
What has made you a better person throughout your years?
Just believing in God that He'll take care of things.
What are you most proud of throughout your life?
My beautiful family. I am proud of you all. Y'all.
Do you want to elaborate or no?
No,
Okay.
it's just that everyone is perfect.
Oh.
And a lot of problems, but still perfect. And do for their parents and me and their kids. That's what I'd have to say most proud of.
Thinking of the people you've lost all these years, if any were standing in front of you now, who would you want to spend one more day with, and what would you want to say to them?
My son Gary. He would have to come. I'd ask him why he did what he did, and I'm sorry, but if he had talked to us, we could have done things different. That's who I'd like to see. Oh, go for a ride out Belle Isle, walk around, show him how things have changed in the city, show him the empty blocks, except Busha's house.
What is your biggest regret, if you have any?
My biggest regret is still my son. That we lost him the way we did. I'd make him clean up that room. That was his room.
What is something most people wouldn't know about you?
My life in the 60s with this person that I was living with. Beverly knows who I'm referring to, your mother. But even she doesn't know when they went on vacation with their father in the summer, the torment I went through with him. And you don't know the torment your mother went through. That's something. No, that's enough of that. Next question.
What is your most memorable moment of your life?
When I got married to Grandpa, because I loved him. Isn't it silly?
No.
It would have. It wasn't as big as if we had it in a small hall at Dompolsky, and a lot of my father's friends came in there, but there actually was just family. Dompolsky was part of our life when I was growing up. My father was an officer of his group. Oh, it was a big Polish group. Yeah, there was a boy I had a crush on then. That was up to the 8th grade. But 8th grade you were grown up already.
If you could go back to any moment in your life, when would it be and why?
My girlfriend Joanne and Rosie, we rode our bicycles on all the way to Belle Isle. All those homes were big and occupied, singing songs. Do, 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 do. I can't sing now. It was a popular song of the time, but I can't remember it. I can just picture it, the songs and the girls and singing.
So all of those girls are friends from high school? Okay, who is it?
Joanne and Rosie and Carol. Little Pat moved to Chicago. I just talked to Carol. She said she was called Little Pat and I was Big Pat.
Oh.
Because I had kept Patricia as my name all through high school.
Hindsight is 20/20. What advice would 80-year-old Nancy have for teenage Nancy?
I should have. No, I don't regret leaving Providence, because I experienced a lot of things as a practical nurse, but I don't have regrets for what I did because I wanted. I was independent, and I don't know. I just was relying on myself to do what I had to do all my life.
Did you mention where, if you could visit anywhere in the world, where it would be?
I suppose I would like to go to Poland and to see what it's like. It's probably a lot different than my mother used to tell us about when she lived on the farm. Probably are no farms. But I'd like to go just to see what it's like.
What is one thing you want people to remember about you?
That I was a good lady. I was a little wild too when I worked for the city. Oh, I used to play piano. See? We didn't bring in my piano anywhere.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. I took lessons from, and I can't play now.
What is something you hope continues after you're gone?
I hope your father mows my lawn. Well, I hope I don't know if they're going to tear the house down. They better fix it up before it falls down.
Or maybe what do you wish would be different after you're gone?
That the city of Detroit stays in the right path that they're going.
And then anything with our family, anything you hope continues after you're gone?
I hope you all live to see me. I hope there's no accidents or anything like that. So I hope that every one of you lives to be 80. Then I'll be gone, long gone.
What are your words of advice?
Well, I wish that all my children and grandchildren don't get into any trouble with the law or family. I hope you all have happy marriages and the children all graduate and your mother and father don't fight.
Do you have any words of advice to leave us with?
You all have to do your own thing, think your own thoughts, do what you always think is right, and don't get into any trouble.
If you could do it all over, would you?
Well, there'd have to be some changes. That's a very difficult question because if we had stayed married, life would be all different. There wouldn't be a Mary Lou and Sandy, And, there wouldn't be a lot of things would be different. But, so I would say no. I wouldn't do any different.
On behalf of all of us, your grandchildren, and your children, and your relatives, and I guess me doing this, just want to say that you've always meant so much to all of us. You still do. And if you ever feel lonely, know that we are always thinking of you and care about you, no matter what. You're always in our thoughts. Thank you. Love you.
Nope, love you more.
Aw. See you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Grandma, do your dance move again.
Maddox, what's the matter?
Gotta say anything, Grandma?
Cheers!
Some people started singing and not knowing what it was, and they continue singing it forever just because this is a song that doesn't end. This is a song my friend.
What would you do with the money?
Give us the man.
You know what? I thought of something. What'd you say?
That's
I give it all to you. You're like, hold bottom, that's the thickest.
Don't.
Other side?
You lit alligator. What?
Aw, that's cute.
Where'd you even find that?